Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? It is currently 6:24 p.m. and Alex just left to go have dinner with Sarah. And we have been napping off and on all day today, which was not my plan. So as you know, I had this periodontal scaling this morning, so I'm just gonna tell you guys about that. Well, first of all, last night, Alex, he ended up going over, I think I was talking about this when I vlogged last night, but he ended up going over to a friend of his house that ended up, because they were going to this concert thing downtown, and then Alex ended up going to the concert thing. He got home at like 1 o'clock in the morning, so he really wasn't out that late. But I didn't really have anything to watch on TV. So I watched this show that's on, I think it's on Amazon Prime, that Tanya recommended to me. And it's called The Price of Glee. Because Tanya was like, I know you used to watch Glee back in the day. You should watch this show. And she was like, it's really interesting. And it's this documentary. And it's this 3-part series about all of this stuff that happened to Glee and all this kind of stuff. So I watched this 3-part series last night on Glee. If you are somebody that watched Glee, I think that you would find it really interesting. If you're somebody that didn't watch Glee, but is interested in Hollywood, you might still be interested if you kind of followed some of those actors. If you don't know anything about it, I don't think that you would be that interested in it, in all honesty. I was kind of surprised that she was interested in it because she didn't watch Glee or anything, but it was really kind of focused around the really difficult work schedule that all of the actors had on the show, that they were working like 70 plus hours, and that they wouldn't like finish their work week until like 4 or 5 a.m. on Saturday mornings. And then most TV shows had a hiatus where they would like film for a season, and then they would have so much time off so that they could film movies or just, you know, have a break. And the actors on Glee, they didn't have that because they had to go on these extensive tours. And the tours were like sold out, like always. And so, are you wanting to come up here, bud? Boo Radley was sleeping upstairs. Alex left him on the bed. But I guess you wanted to come up here, didn't you? He said, I wanted to come up here and see the people. He said, hello, everybody. So it talked a lot about just like their work schedules, but then it got into kind of like this curse of Glee, which, I mean, they said it's not really a curse, but it's kind of the same thing that happened on Poltergeist. I don't know if you guys, I'm sure most people know about this, that like several of the actors died that were on Poltergeist. And it was similar to that with Glee, but it wasn't just actors. It was like people that worked behind the scenes as well, like set designers and gaffers and things like that, and people that worked in other departments of the show. And there have been like a lot of tragedy that happened on the show. So it was a 3-part series. I literally sat here and just like boom, 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 watched all 3 parts of it. And watched, and then I talked to Tanya for a little bit. And then Boo Radley and I went to bed real early, didn't we? Yeah. Because I had to be up at like 6:45 so that we could leave at 7:30 to go to my dental appointment that Alex took me to. So I was actually laying in bed last night. I think I ended up falling asleep. I went upstairs about 11 and I ended up falling, something like that, I don't know. And I ended up falling asleep about 12. I was listening to the Misfortune book, which I'm now about halfway through. So I'll probably finish it this weekend. But I kept on like listening to it and then falling asleep while I was listening to it. So I had to like rewind it, and then I would wake up and then I would rewind it. And so finally I was like, just turn it off and go to bed. So I did, and got a good night's sleep. Alex came home, like I said, like not too long after that. And yeah, and then got up this morning and went to my dental scaling appointment. So she did, I thought she was going to do like the whole top and the whole bottom. She didn't. She did the top right and the bottom right. And then the next time that I see her, she's gonna do the top left and the bottom left. So apparently the last time that I did a cleaning with her, she got a lot done. So she didn't have to do tons today, although they booked out like an hour and 45 minutes. Honest to God, the worst part were the shots. And that's always what it is for me, is like the worst part. It's really like the shots that go right here are the worst ones for me. The other ones like that are like deep down, like right here and stuff, I can handle those. They just feel like a lot of force in my jaw. Like it's like, you know, it just feels like, you know, whatever. But those that go like right up there are like the ones that are the hardest. I had brought my AirPods with me. And I told her, I said, can I just get real comfortable? And she's so nice. And she was like, yeah. And I said, so I said, I wore cute socks. I wore these cute Bombas. And then I said, can I just take my shoes off? I had like worn my Birkenstock clogs. And she's like, yeah, just get comfortable. And I said, and I brought AirPods in case I need to wear them. And she was like, okay. And she was like, do you want to start wearing your AirPods? And I was like, no. I said, let's just see how I do. And I was like, okay. So the sound is a lot for me of like the scraping and stuff like that. So she was about 10 minutes in and she said, she was like, sweetie, do you want to try the AirPods? And I was like, yeah, let's try them. And so I put my AirPods in, and at first, I'd say for like the first 40 minutes, I just listened to music. And it was really like, I didn't have a hard time with it at all. It was like really easy. And and then after that, he came in and like she paused for a second and he said, okay, when she's done, I want to sit down with you and I want to talk to you about like treatment options and things like that. And I was like, okay, about having gone to the endodontist and what he was going to recommend. And so, so then she said to me after he left, she said, we're almost done. So it's not gonna be that much further or that much longer. So I, put my AirPods back in and then I listened to a little bit of, the Misfortune book. I listened to about 20 or 30 minutes of it and then I was done and that was it. It really wasn't that bad at all. What happened was, so it's this tooth up here. It's for those people that work in the dental field. I don't know if you'll know what this tooth is, but it's number 3. They keep on referring to tooth number 3, and it's like a molar, and that's the tooth that they think I had a porcelain crown on it that cracked during the accident. And now there's an infection on the top of the tooth. And they're afraid that the infection is going to spread to the two teeth around it. Which is why they're recommending an extraction. So today, so when it was done and everything like that, now she tried to be like really sensitive with that area. And the thing is, I don't know why, I woke up today, and this is so weird because like when I went to go see the endodontist, like that area had been fine. And then the day that I woke up to go see the endodontist, it was a little swollen in that area. And today I was going to get this scaling done and I woke up and on top of that tooth, it was a little swollen. It was kind of sensitive, which hasn't really been the case. And I told her that before, and she said, okay, I'll try to be really careful. And she was like, maybe I should do the other side. And I said, well, you do what you want to do. Like, my threshold for pain is pretty high. And she was like, okay. She was like, well, I prefer to get that side done because if he goes in and extracts that tooth, whatever. So she did it, and everything seemed fine. Like when she was working in that area, it seemed a little... like it felt a little sensitive, but I just made some tea. I made this chamomile lavender tea that I got on, it smells so good, that I got on, it reminds me of something that I've had before, that I got on Amazon. Oh, that is delicious. I specifically didn't put any sweetener in it because I wanted to taste what it tasted like. I made a cup of it last night, and then I never got the cup off the Keurig to drink, and then I ended up going to bed, and this morning I was like, I never had that tea last night. So anyway, sat down and talked to him. She kind of came in and out while I was like talking to him. And then he also had like this treatment, this woman that worked in there that was like his treatment coordinator. And so he gave me kind of like some different options. And so the one option is he said that he could go in. So here's the deal. So he wants to extract this tooth. That's the number one thing. He's like, you need to have this tooth extracted. I don't want the infection to move, whatever. And he was like, and then at that point, he was like, we need to decide whether we're going to do an implant or whether we're going to do a bridge. And he was like, there are positives and negatives for each one. And he was like, and those are things that we can talk about. And I said, okay. He was like, but we have to get that tooth out of there. And he was like, and then he was talking about some, like paper padding or something that he wants to put over it. Grafting is what he called it. I don't know anything about that. So, and then he also wants to do, have her do the scaling. Like the same day that he would extract that tooth, he would do the scaling. But he's also wanting to extract my 4 wisdom teeth. And so he was like, I think we should just do it all on the same date. And I'm like, oh, that's a lot, okay? Like, that's a lot as far as I'm concerned. And he was like, I understand that it sounds like a lot to you. And he was like, and I'm going to be really honest with you. You're going to be out for a couple days. Like, you're going to be out for 3 or 4 days. Like, and I said, okay, well, you know, like, I make videos for a living. Like, you know, like, where am I going to... He goes, you're not going to be making videos for a couple days. He said, the first day or 2, you're not going to really be able to talk. And he said, but past that, he goes, it's just going to be that you have like kind of like chipmunk cheeks and whatever. I said, well, I don't care about that. I said, I'll get on video, you know, with chipmunk cheeks. I don't care about that, you know. I said, I just want to be able to like, you know, connect with the people that watch my videos. He's like, oh yeah. He was like, you can talk. He was just like, you're going to like, your cheeks are going to be puffy and stuff like that. And I said, oh, I don't care about that. So I made an appointment for the first week of February and we booked it all. And I said, okay, can I think about this over the weekend? Because he was like, you know, he said, Peter, here's the thing. He said, I'm not super concerned about the wisdom teeth. He said, but, well, then she came in, the person that did the scaling, and she was like, but if you decide that you're going to do a bridge, you're going to have the wisdom teeth taken out. And also there's something like, I don't know, they were talking about like a space behind my wisdom teeth or something behind my wisdom teeth that they're concerned about. And so he said, I would rather just like get those out because I think like the longevity of like your teeth health would be better. I don't know. So, okay, so here's the other thing. I don't like the idea of being put under. Like, I don't like the idea of being put asleep for any of this. And so then I asked him what my other options were, and he was like, well, we can give you like a pain medication, you know, that you would like take some of it at home and then take more of it when you get here, and then like, you know, somebody would have to drive you and all that kind of stuff. And I said, well, I'm not concerned about that, but I said, I don't want to take medication that's going to make me feel weird. Like, I don't want to do that. And I said, so are there other options? He's like, yeah, we can just numb you up. Like, we can just give you shots. And I said, is it going to hurt? And so I guess I'm really like wanting to know if anybody out there has done this. And he said, no, it's not going to hurt. He said, you know, and if you can feel it, he was like, you can just let me know at that time and we'll go in there and we'll numb it more. He said, but you're just going to have to follow up with like Tylenol and things like that. And I said, well, that would be what would make me the most comfortable as a person that's sober. And I also don't want to be put under. I just don't like, I don't like the idea of that. I don't know why it freaks me out. Unless I absolutely have to, I don't want to have to do that. So, so that was the other thing that we discussed. But the appointment went really well. So left there, Alex brought me home. I got home about, I don't even know, 10:30, something like that, after like having talked to him and all this kind of stuff. I was like talking to the girls that work in the office because I like, one of them, she used to work at Saks. She was really sweet anyway. And she was like, do you ever shop at Saks? I was like, yeah, sometimes. And she was like, I used to work in the Chanel department. I was like, oh my God. So I talked to her for a long time. She was real sweet. So anyway, came home and then like I sat here and I started watching this documentary that a lot of people have recommended to me, and it's called Closed for Storm, and it's on Amazon Prime. it's just like a movie, and it's about this amusement park called, I think, like Jazzland or something, that Six Flags ended up buying, that was in New Orleans, and that Hurricane Katrina, like, it came and like demolished. I'm at the point where Hurricane Katrina hits New Orleans, so I don't know what happens to the abandoned apparently it's been abandoned since like 2003 or something like that. All these people have recommended this documentary to me and told me how great it was. I don't think it's really that great, if you want to know the truth. I think it's kind of boring, honestly. I mean, it's okay, but I love watching like these people that like go to abandoned amusement parks and abandoned water parks on YouTube. And of course, you don't really have the backstory often of these places, but they're 10 times more interesting than this is. I don't know. It's a lot of old footage, like a lot of old like footage that they have of opening the amusement park on different times. And it kind of reminds me a little bit of, shoot, what was that documentary that I watched? Now I can't remember it. It was about that documentary. Okay, the documentary, somebody will remember me watching this, or somebody else watched it too, about, I feel like it was about a water park that was on the East Coast, and it was like super dangerous, and like people died on the rides, and like got like really, I'm not laughing because of that, I'm just like, I mean, the whole like absurdity of this water park, that it even existed, is like crazy to me. Like, I don't know if you guys remember watching it, but it took place in the 70s. It was called like Water Park USA or something like that, and like people got hurt like really bad on these water slides, and they like went over rocks and stuff like that. Do you guys remember this water park? I watched that documentary. So this documentary kind of reminds me of that a little bit, but it's not about a water park. So I started watching that, and then I was trying to get a hold of Tanya and Caroline just to kind of check in. And I was like, I started getting really tired, and I was like, I'm gonna go lay back down for a little bit, because I really didn't get that much sleep last night. And so I went upstairs, and I kind of had a hard time falling asleep. And Alex told me that he was just gonna work a half day, so he was gonna be home. That he was gonna work until like 1-ish or something like that, and then he would be home. So I finally fell asleep, I don't know, like 12:30 or something. So I had 2 drama videos that I was actually going to make today, which I think I'm going to make tomorrow, although tomorrow is my nephew and godson Sebastian's birthday. We don't really know what we're doing about it yet. They're kind of like, so they're going to like plan like this big birthday party like down the road, but like tomorrow they're doing something like smaller with just like friends and family. So we don't know what time that is yet, because they're kind of planning it last minute. And so, but I'm going to make these 2 drama videos tomorrow at least. Well, I'm going to make at least one of them, and one of them I might make on Sunday. Because I have these 2 ideas. Now I have 3 ideas for drama videos, but I have these 2 ideas for drama videos. So I want to talk about those. And I was going to do a Peterismus video today. And I had like a recovery topic that I was going to talk about. And then I was actually going to review that story, or that documentary that I watched, The Price of Glee. And then I was going to take down the Christmas stuff. I actually, last night, this is so corny. Last night I filmed, hold on a second. My phone is like all thumbnails and stuff like that. A little shrine to Christmas this year. And see, here's our little Christmas tree that we have. So see, I like filmed like showing all the Christmas stuff, because I was going to take down the Christmas stuff today, which that Christmas stuff is still up over there. But I did get the Christmas stuff off the front porch. Well, most of it's off the front porch. The doormat is still out there, which I need to put in the garage. And then I don't really know what to do with the doormat. I feel like maybe I just throw it out. I mean, it cost me like $10, and like I want to get like, you know, a different one next year. I like trying to get a different one every year. The only other thing that I have out there are the, what do you call it? The oh shoot. Oh, the lanterns. But it was really cold today and really kind of like windy. It wasn't as windy as it was yesterday, but it was really, really cold. And so before we were leaving for the dentist this morning, our neighbor across the street, he said I can use his trash cans whenever I want. So I carried those huge, pine deals and whatever across the street and put them in his trash can. So everything like that is gone. The wreath is gone. I took all of that stuff down, and yeah, and it's all gone. So the front porch is pretty much de-Christmased. Today, I actually found down in the basement, I asked Alex, I said yesterday, I said, where is that comforter that I've been looking for? He was like, the gray one, like the one that we had in Fort Lauderdale. And I said, yeah, the one that I bought at Target. And he goes, it's in the basement underneath all that stuff. I go, well, I didn't see it down there. So today I'm like looking through all this stuff down there, all these like linens and stuff, because we have all the towels are like washed and dried, and I just have to fold the rest of them. And so we have a massive amount of towels upstairs in the bathroom already folded and like put away, and now I have like more in the basement. So we like every towel in our house is clean. And so I was like, okay, I have to find this stuff. And so I had washed all of these comforters, and that was like the one comforter that I didn't wash. So I found it, and I actually washed it, and it's done now because I washed it like when I first got home today. And then, because when I got home, I let Boo Radley out of his house and I put it in the washer. And then I got to put it into the dryer. And so tomorrow or Sunday will be new linens on the bed. New linens on the bed. Yeah. Monday's going to be a fun day. I have my MRI, which I'm not excited about. I have my MRI at like in the middle of the afternoon, and then I come back. I've taken an Uber there and an Uber back, and then I have to take an Uber to our couples counseling appointment that evening as well. So 3 Ubers that I'll have to take that day, which is totally fine. But then I have to like plan my day out to like do all that kind of stuff. I actually booked a bunch of hair appointments when I was at my hairstylist the other day too, and I've got to put them in my book as well as the dental appointment so I don't forget those things. So yeah, so anyway, so then Alex came home and he let Boo Radley out like when he got home today, and he like heated up some food downstairs. I don't know what he heated up, and then he came upstairs and I said, are you going to lay down for a little bit? He's like, yeah, I'm going to lay down until I go to dinner. I'm exhausted. And I looked at the clock and it was like right at 2 o'clock or something. And I said, okay, that's when I was going to get up to film videos. But I was like, oh, I'm so cozy in bed with my husband, and Boo Radley. So I'm going to lay down for a little bit longer. And I ended up sleeping, you guys, until like 5:30, 5:40 or something like that. So I slept all afternoon, and it was fantastic. And, and this is what I was going to say. Like, every time I woke up, it was, like, right here on my mouth, like, that area. It, like, hurts a little bit. It doesn't, like, I can tell, like, and down here it hurts a little bit, but it's not, like, where she was doing the scaling. It's, like, where the shots were. Like, I know that sounds kind of strange, but it doesn't hurt, like, where, I don't know. If I feel it, like, where the shots are, so. But yeah, it wasn't bad. I gotta remember that for the next time that I have to have it. So this is all the procedures that I have to get done. And then after that, I will go to my dentist to, well, he said that if I have a bridge, my dentist will do that, who he works with. And if I have an implant, he'll do it. So, and he said there's like pros and cons to both of those that we'll talk about next time. Anyway, he said he wasn't gonna, even if he did an implant, he said he wasn't gonna do it the day that he extracted the tooth. So, that he wanted to like graft that area or something. I didn't even really understand what he was saying, if you want to know the truth. So that's that. And that was my day. And it was so windy in Indianapolis today that I could like literally, when we were laying in bed, I could hear the wind outside. And Yeah. And then tonight, Alex went to dinner with Sarah to this restaurant called Delicia here in Indianapolis because they haven't had dinner together in a long time. And I'm hoping, to be honest with you, that he's not too late tonight because I'd really like to watch RuPaul's Drag Race. And I think that's the only show that we have to watch. And then Liliana and Carlos said that they were going to let us know tonight, like, what time the thing is tomorrow. At some point, they said that they would say, like, oh, we're going to all meet up here at, like, noonish or something like that. But I think it's just, like, family and, like, really close friends. So, that'll be nice. That'll be nice tomorrow. And, yeah. I can't believe he's going to be 7. It's so crazy. I can remember the day that he was born. I can remember when they were both born, you know. I can remember when Caroline's son David was born. And I actually have a picture here. I think it's in the kitchen. I was working, it was when I was working in treatment. And I think David's birthday, I'm so bad with birthdays. I used to have them all written down on my phone. But his birthday is like the very end of January, and he'll be 22 this year. And so I was working in treatment, and my mom called me and said that Caroline had him, and she had had him at like the women's hospital. It's the women's hospital here in Indianapolis. I don't know how I remember that. And she had him like an hour before I got off work. And so I left and I drove over there, and I remember I like walked in. I can remember, like, I don't know if I have a picture of myself with it and that's why I remember, but I can remember like the coat I had on and everything. It was like this J. Crew kind of like coat that I don't know how, with like this hood. I don't know how I remember it, but my mom was there. I remember my mom had this. So I took this picture of my mom, and she's like holding him, and my mom and David always just had this like really, really special connection, you know, and that's so crazy to think that that was like 22 years ago. And yeah, I can remember that like it was, I mean, it's weird. It doesn't feel like it was yesterday. I mean, it definitely feels like it was a long time ago. And there's like different phases and like who David was like growing up. Like I can remember David as like a really, really little kid. And then I can remember him being like 5 to 10 as like kind of a prominent age. He kind of like ran the neighborhood a little bit. Like we would go over there for Halloween and stuff, and he kind of like ran the neighborhood. I can remember they'd all come in and they'd all go out, and it would always like David was the leader, you know? And then like I definitely can remember him like in high school and junior high, and that was when he kind of like came into his own style and started loving music and playing drums and stuff like that. And so it's interesting when you are there. I mean, if you're older, like you've known somebody since their birth, you'll know what I'm talking about. But it's interesting to kind of like see somebody through like, you know, they're growing up. And like, it's interesting with Carlitos because Carlitos is so athletic and so extroverted and out there and all this kind of stuff and kind of like a tough guy that how I would perceive that he would be is really not how he is. He's really rather soft. You know, it was really sweet. It was like when we walked into their house on Christmas, we like, I went in to say hi to like he and Sebastian. Sebastian couldn't be bothered, and you know, Carlitos was like on the bed, and he was like on his like iPad, like following Santa every second. On this Nordic tracker, and he was like, you know, asking me all these questions like, well, how is he in Canada and now he's there? And I'm like, well, you know, Santa goes all over the place, up and down, and moves all over and whatever, you know. And he's 10, you know, and so I just that he still has retained that innocence that I love, that I think kids should retain as long as they possibly can. I think Carlos and Liliana do a really great job of, you know, having the kids retain that. I think one of the things that, you know, like they always tell us, like, about, like, getting gifts for the kids and stuff like that for Christmas or for their birthday. It stopped. Is that they'll always say to us, you know, like, well, Carlos mostly says it, but he'll say, like, don't buy him a bunch of toys. Like, they don't need a bunch of toys. Like, buy him experiences. Like, going here to this or going there to that, because we want them to experience a lot of things. And, you know, we want them to, you know, see, you know, this play or go to this museum or do that. And Liliana does, oh my God, she does such a fantastic job of taking them to everything. Like, I mean, constantly they're like, they're going to like the Speedway Museum, which is the Indy 500, the race car museum, or they're going to like the Children's Museum, which my mom used to call the Kids Museum, which Indianapolis has like one of the best children's museums in the world. I don't know if you knew that. Or the History Museum, or the Christmas, like there's in Carmel, Indiana, which is a suburb where Alex and I both grew up. There's this like, this whole Christmas town area, and she took him to that. It's like she takes him to all of these different things to like experience these different, you know, situations. And I think it's cool. I think that's so cool that they do that, and they're so good at that, you know? So, I don't know. Carlitos is very protective of Sebastian too. He's very protective of his younger brother, which I love. I don't really witness them argue or fight a whole lot. And, like, if you ask Carlitos who his best friend is, he would say Sebastian, which I think is sweet. I mean, and then he would say, oh, but my best friend is. But I don't know many, you know, 10-year-olds that would say something like that, you know, but anyway. So, that's tomorrow, and then I'll film whatever videos I can. Depending on what time we go over and do all that. So that'll be fun. And then that's it. That's our weekend. Alex is he has something to do tomorrow night, that he told me tonight. This girl that he like never sees, that they kind of like made like tentative plans. So I might, depending on what I get done, see if Tanya wants to do something tomorrow night. I don't know what her plans are. I called her earlier and she called me back, but I was asleep when she called me, so I'll have to like check in with her and see what she's doing tomorrow night. If she wants to do something, then we will get together and do something. If not, then I'll probably just watch a TV show. I think my next TV show that I'm going to start watching is either going to be 9 Perfect Strangers, or I do think I'm going to watch that 3 Pines. I actually didn't look to see if anybody commented on the 3 Pines thing. I should probably look and see. I honestly haven't read any of the comments for today. Did you do the juices yet? Okay, so I kind of did the juices on Monday, Tuesday, and also like the end of last week a little bit. I kind of did half juices is kind of what I did, but so yeah. People really want to know about those juices. I don't know if you're just like checking in with me, or I mean like, it's like, did you do the juices? Did you do the juices? Yes, I did them, and it was okay. I've done them before. Okay, Teresa said, I became obsessed with the Downy Unstoppables and the Fresh Scent. In fact, I'm going through them a bit too quickly, so I cut back to only use them on bedding and bath towels. The scent lasts too. Even now I can smell it if I scratch my sleeve, LOL. I do want to say this one thing about the juices. So just in case you order them, like I did the pressed juices before, and I did them, so like I think this time I ordered 4 days. The last time I ordered like 3 or 4 days, and I don't think I talked about it the last time I did it on here. Maybe I did, I don't remember. But I did it exactly how you're supposed to do it. Like on the website, it'll tell you like, you have like the green juice first, the citrus juice second, the green juice third, whatever, I don't know, the root one fourth, whatever, and then you end up with this almond milk thing, right? So it tells you like what order, depending on which package that you have. There's like a beginner and like a moderate, and like, and I usually do the moderate one, the middle range one, and then there's like an expert. For me, like I cannot do like the entire, I can't do 6 juices a day and just that be it. It's like really, really difficult. Not to mention that I think that comes out to like less than like 800 or 900 calories a day. So to go from like eating total crap to going to just that, like that's like, I mean, not that I'm like juicing and eating crap, but it's really difficult. If I were to do the juices for the very first time, so like for people out there that are buying them on the, like I really like the pressed juices. When I was looking into juices that I wanted to buy, this is how I found it, you guys. I actually Googled like celebrity juicing that they did or whatever. And it was like 5 or 6 people had used these pressed juices, which also have smoothies and things like that, which is why I ended up going with them. It also seemed like the ones that were the most organic. You pick a day, like, so if you order them like a Wednesday or a Thursday, they'll deliver them the following Wednesday nationwide. And then the, what do you call it? The expiration date is about 3 or 4 weeks on them, 3 weeks, something like that. Actually, I've gotten expiration dates on some of them that have been like 2 weeks, and I've gotten expiration dates on some of them that have been like 4 weeks. So I don't know. But if you have never done a juicing anything before, because they have like cleanses and stuff like that, I would do a very short beginner's cleanse because it's a lot more difficult than you think it is. And so, yeah, that's what I would recommend if you've never done it before. All right. Okay, somebody might, this is from Dream Dev for me. Somebody might have already said this, but the avian flu responsible for the egg prices right now. It's crazy how expensive they are. We have 3 laying hens, and they keep us with enough for our household, and right now I'm so thankful for them. I didn't know that. Alexis said, color guard is the flag girls that couldn't be cheerleaders. Colo guard, like colon, is the poop box. I knew I was saying something wrong. I was like, this can't be called color guard. I was like, I knew that. I have the box, literally. The box is sitting right in the counter in there. Okay. Sally said, God, Peter, I'm sitting here bawling over your, quote, last breath, first breath over my dad's passing several months ago. I needed to hear that. I thank you for sharing everything you do. It honestly helps. Oh, you're so sweet. Yeah, I love that quote. Katie said, LOL, Peter, I love how you called the poop in the box thing color guard. Am I the only one? Okay, Alexa said, same here, LOL, it's color guard, or colo guard. I'm going to call it color guard forever. Peter, I know you know this, but let me just say, dentistry is a privilege, and so many people around the world suffer from zero dental care. You are blessed to get your teeth fixed. I say that in pure love for you and hope that while you are there tomorrow, you can remember that you are blessed. One more I love you. Happy teeth cleaning day, said Daily Show. So it's interesting. So thank you for saying that. It's interesting, like last night, I really was scared. Like, ever since I was a kid, I've always had total fear attached to, you know, going to the dentist and having dental work and things like that done. And I'm fully aware that it's a privilege, you know, as are many other things like watching YouTube videos and being able to, you know, make videos and live in a house. And I mean, my life is just full of privilege on a daily basis, right? But it's interesting that you say that because last night, I was like, I took Boo Radley outside before I was going to bed, and I was like saying my prayers and whatever, and I said, God, I said, you know, please watch over me, like during this dental appointment tomorrow. And the first thing, I mean, like literally the first thing that went through my head was, you are so blessed that you even get to have dental work done. So that is so crazy that you said that. So I appreciate you saying that. And you know, and it's all perspective too, right? Like that's where it's like, we talk about in recovery, like first thought bad, second thought good, you know, that sometimes we need to process our thoughts. And it's like, you know, just because you think something the first time doesn't make you a horrible person. It's like, okay, so I'm fearful of this dentist work, but if I can get to the point where I can say, but how blessed am I that I even get to have dental work, you know? And it's that changing of perspective that I can have, like, wow, like, that's pretty incredible, you know? Okay, let's see. Amazing Andy said, it's not color guard, it's colo guard. I feel like such an idiot. Okay, Tanya said, my boyfriend told me about one of his friends that works for UPS, and he had to pick up one of those boxes, and he said his truck smelled all day, and he was very unhappy about it. I think the person didn't seal it up right or something. God, I'm so embarrassed of this. Why did I even talk about it? Judy asked me question. Peter, can you take a sleeping pill to help you fall asleep early, like melatonin? Might help on the times you have to get up early. So I don't take any habit-forming pills whatsoever, like a sleeping pill I wouldn't take. I have in the past taken melatonin, which is a supplement. And I'm talking, it's been like years since I've taken melatonin. Melatonin, like, here's the thing with melatonin that I have found, okay? You have to take melatonin and then, like, immediately, like, lay down in bed. Like, it has to hit you, right? Like, melatonin doesn't make you sleep. It doesn't, like, work like a sleeping pill. Like, it's a supplement that makes you calm. I don't know. Anyway, but I will say this. On the few times that I took melatonin through the years, I just, the next day, I felt kind of like I was dragging. I felt a little hungover. I would never take melatonin again. So, then my husband likes it. He feels like it helps him on days that he can't fall asleep. So, but it didn't help me. Haya said, I think it's really important for your mental health to take days off from vlogging. We all love you so much, and I understand when you need some time off, and it's okay. Oh, you're so sweet. Jeanette said, we got 9 inches of snow yesterday. The roads were kind of yucky for the commute, but not too bad. But I am so glad listening to your vlog. It really helps my anxiety. I really know how it feels lately to be stuck in my own head, missing many people, and have felt very sad lately. And then Kendall said, praying for you today with your dental stuff, Peter. I wish I would have gotten 9 inches of snow. I know that when I say that, people are like, you wish you got 9 inches of snow. Kim said, my mother-in-law just passed away December 31st, and it's been hard, sending all the love to all of yours. Oh, sweetie, I am so sorry. Sending you prayers and positivity. Okay, here's one about the 3 Pines. This is from Shelley. Hi, Peter. 3 Pines is taken from the Louise Penny Chief Inspector Armand Gamache books. I think you will like the show. I did, and so did my husband. Side note, I absolutely love the audiobooks. Thinking of you and what you've been going through, not just this week, but the last year. Thank you for sharing your gentle soul with us. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Okay, Kayla said, it's because so many birds died of avian flu. That's why the price of eggs went up. I was just reading up on this and found terrible, heart-wrenching videos from PETA. Oh my God. I need to figure out, I need to read some articles and find out what's going on. Nikolai said, I love blueberry coffee with French vanilla creamer. That sounds so good. Tastes like a blueberry muffin top. A muffin top. A blueberry muffin. I love that so much. Nikolai said, hello, hello, hello. It's 2:39 a.m. and a frigid 42 degrees Fahrenheit in Vegas. Do you know what's interesting to me is I don't get many men who watch my vlog. I mean, I get a few. Like, I notice the comments on here, and I know that there are some men that watch it that don't comment and things like that. And I know that, like, I typically draw more of a female audience, you know, which I don't mind. Like, I love that, you know. But it's interesting to me every once in a while when I see that, you know. So, and And typically what's interesting to me also is sometimes it's the men that will email me and be like, I so relate to your story, or like, I'm an older gay guy and, you know, like, I'm not super social and I just love watching your vlogs because I relate to them and my life is pretty similar to yours, or, you know, stuff like that. Or, this is also crazy to me, is I'll get a lot of emails from straight guys that will say, I started watching your vlogs with like my girlfriend or whatever and we broke up, and I still watch them because they're so calming for me at the end of the day and whatever, and I just love that. So thank you to all of you. Well, I'm going to get off here, you guys, and I think I am going to try to get a hold of Tanya Jean Applestein and see what she is doing, and I'm going to start getting this vlog up. This vlog of love for the day. And I keep on looking at these pictures of Tucker today. I've like really been missing Tucker a lot today. I feel like everywhere I look, I see this. I see a picture of Tucker. And it really makes me kind of sad. I don't know. It's weird to think that Boo Radley has lived almost an entire year, you know. The fact that they were litter mates. It's kind of crazy to me to think that, you know, Boo Radley has lived almost an entire year longer than he has. And I hope that he lives many, 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 many more years on top of that. Somebody was asking me the other day, they were like, I think it was maybe in a comment, or maybe it was in my question and answer that I did, because I did like an opinions video. And they said, have you ever thought about working with like adoptive dogs, or, you know, like with senior rescue dogs and stuff like that? And like Alex and I had talked about it at one point, because I'm really into the whole senior rescue thing. And Alex got very emotional and he was like, babe, please don't. He was like, I don't know that I can handle that. He was like, the idea of getting a dog and having this entire life with this dog, and then the dog passes, is already enough for me. Like, he is still to this day, he really struggles with Pee-Pee and Tucker having passed. And he was like, I don't know that I could live for the, you know, next 20 years with us like getting a dog and then it passing in 6 months to a year, getting a dog and then it passing 6 months to a year because it's a senior dog. He was like, I know that you're super passionate about it and I think that that's great and there are people that do that. He was like, I just don't know from you know, that I could do it. He was like, I'm being honest, you know? And so I don't think that will ever be like my thing that I do. Like, I don't think that I'll ever have like a house where I have like 6 rescue dogs. But I think, I love that Instagram account, Wolfgang, you know. I will tell you what's interesting is that Alex, like, he has like recently been sending me so many like Instagram videos of rescue dogs, like doing cute stuff. And he's just like, all the time, he's like constantly sending me these little videos of these like older senior rescue dogs that are living to be 15 or 16. I don't know, maybe he's like looking up older dogs, you know, because he's like hoping that Boo Radley, you know, lives to be... I hope that Boo Radley does too. I mean, Boo Radley's healthy today, you know, I mean, like, he's doing well. So he sleeps a lot. That is the one thing, is Boo Radley just like sleeps a lot. But older dogs sleep a lot, you know. But I do think, as far as like me getting involved in doing something with some kind of like dog rescue or something, you know, I have a lot of friends that work in dog rescue. You know, Melissa does several different things. I don't know that I would necessarily, like, what she does is not what I'm interested in doing, but she could introduce me to people that would do more of what I would be interested in doing. So I don't know. I think maybe it's something I really need to look into, and all of that. So yeah, and it's time for me to get this Christmas stuff down too. So anyway, let me know what you thought about all that rambling rose that I talked about in the comments. Do you guys remember that song, Ramblin' Rose? Oh, Dave Crosby died. I know he didn't sing Ramblin' Rose. Well, maybe, I'm sure at some point he probably did. But Dave Crosby died. David Crosby died. Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. I feel like every week that goes by, like somebody from my childhood, somebody from my youth, another person passes. And then when I look at their age, I'm like, I mean, he was like 81. I'm like, he was 81, that's a good life, you know? And then it's like, okay, well, I'm 50. I'm like getting up there in age as well. And it's weird, you know, to think that way. Never really thought that I'd end up at 50. And here I am, you know? All right, you guys, I'm gonna get off here now. I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Friday. If nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Remember these 3 very important things. 1, you can start your day over whenever you want. 2, practice random acts of kindness, but don't tell anyone. And 3, most importantly, make sure that you reach out to somebody and let them know how much they mean to you. You be putting a smile on the table. You be putting a smile. You'll be putting a smile on their face, cheering them up, making them happy, and just overall, you know, making their day better. So why wouldn't we want to do that? And also be kinder to one another, love one another a little bit more, and be kinder and love yourselves a little bit more. And I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love you.